The Whispering Shadows. The old house on the hill had been abandoned for years. It sat at the end of a winding, overgrown path that led through a dense forest. Despite its eerie appearance, a group of teenagers had decided to explore it on a dare. The sun had set by the time they reached the house. It loomed over them like a dark, foreboding presence. As they crept closer, the wind picked up, rustling through the trees. The leaves seemed to whisper, warning them to turn back. Ignoring the warning, the teenagers approached the house. The door creaked open easily, revealing a dark, empty interior. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling, and dust coated everything. The only light came from the moon, which filtered through the dirty windows. As they made their way through the house, they began to hear strange noises. Whispers seemed to follow them from room to room, but when they turned to investigate, there was no one there. The shadows danced and flickered on the walls, causing their hearts to race with fear. They made their way to the basement, where they found an old, rusted door. It creaked open to reveal a hidden room, and as they stepped inside, they could feel a chill settle over them. The walls were lined with shelves, each one filled with jars containing strange, unidentifiable objects. Some appeared to be animal parts, while others were more sinister. As they moved further into the room, the whispers grew louder, and they could feel the shadows closing in around them. Suddenly, one of the jars on the shelf began to shake. The lid popped off, and a black, writhing mass spilled out. The teenagers screamed and ran for the door, but it was too late. The shadows had come alive, surrounding them and pulling them down into the darkness. When they woke up, they were in a different room. It was dark, but they could see a faint light coming from a nearby doorway. They stumbled towards it, their hearts pounding with fear. As they entered the room, they realized that they were not alone. The walls were covered with strange symbols, and in the center of the room sat an old, black cauldron. A figure stood beside it, their face hidden in the shadows. "Welcome," the figure said, their voice soft and menacing. "You have come to my domain." The teenagers tried to run, but the shadows had them trapped. The figure stepped forward, revealing a hideous face. It had long, sharp teeth and eyes that glowed red in the darkness. "You will be my sacrifice," the figure said, lifting a wicked-looking knife. "And your blood will nourish me for years to come." The teenagers screamed as the figure advanced on them, their shadows closing in. They tried to fight back, but it was useless. The whispers had turned into a deafening roar, drowning out their screams as they were consumed by the darkness. Days later, a group of hikers stumbled upon the old house. It was just as they had left it, abandoned and eerie. But when they entered the basement, they found something new. In the center of the room was a small pile of bones, picked clean by some unknown force. And in the darkness, the shadows whispered, waiting for their next victim.